My child, please. Before you let this moment slip past you the way so many have slipped past before your thumb moves and your mind wanders and the noise of everything rushes back in to fill the silence, I am asking you, gently, with all the love I have carried for you since before you were born, to stop, just for tonight, just for this hour. Do not ignore me tonight. I know how many times my voice has reached you, and you did not stop. I am not saying this to wound you. I am saying it because it is true, and because the truth between us tonight matters more than your comfort. I have called to you in 1,000 quiet ways, in the ache that came over you for no reason, in the moment of stillness you rushed to fill, in the longing you could not name, in the small voice underneath all the other voices that said, "There is something more, there is someone here." And again, life pulled you back into its current, and the moment passed, and you did not answer. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. I have been the shepherd calling, and tonight I am calling again. Please do not harden your heart to this one. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Hebrews 3:15. Today, not someday, when life has settled, when the season finally turns, when you have your strength back and your questions answered. Today, tonight. This is the day my voice is reaching you, and I am pleading with you not to do with this night what you have done with so many others, to nod and feel something, and then let it dissolve into the morning as though it never happened. I called this the last time I call, and I want to tell you honestly what I mean, because I do not deal with you in tricks. I do not mean that I am giving up on you, for I have loved you with an everlasting love, and that love does not run out. Jeremiah 31:3. I will never stop loving you, but there are calls that come once, particular moments, particular openings, particular nights when the door of your heart stands open in a way it does not always stand open, when you are soft enough and tired enough and honest enough to actually hear me. And this is one of those nights. This is the call I have been waiting to make to you, prepared for exactly this hour, and if you let it pass, I do not know when your heart will be this open again. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call on him while he is near. Isaiah 55:6. I am near tonight, nearer than I have been in a long time. Do not let the nearness pass unanswered. You have grown so used to ignoring the quiet voice that you have almost forgotten it is a person. You have treated the stirring in your soul as a mood, the longing as restlessness, the ache as something a distraction could fix. But it was never a mood, my child. It was me. It was me reaching for you the whole time, in the only language your busy heart would let through. The language of the quiet ache that no possession and no person and no achievement could ever quite satisfy. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in. Revelation 3:20. I have been the one knocking, all this time, the knock you kept mistaking for something else. So tonight I am not knocking quietly. Tonight I am asking you plainly, the way one person asks another when something matters too much to be subtle about it any longer. Please, please do not ignore me tonight. Place your hand over your heart for a moment, right now, and feel it beating. That beat I have kept going through every day you forgot about me, through every season you walked away, through every night you fell asleep without a thought of the one who made you. In him we live and move and have our being. Acts 17:28. I have been holding your very life in my hands the whole time you were not thinking of me. That is how patient I am. That is how unwilling I am to lose you. I am not slow to keep my promise, but I am patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. 2 Peter 3:9. Remain here with me through these next hours, my child. Not because you are afraid, but because some part of you, the truest part, the part underneath all the noise, has been waiting your whole life to finally stop and hear the voice that has been calling you home. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. Seek me tonight, even a little, even with the small, tired, half-believing heart you have left at the end of this long day. It is enough. Turn toward the voice. I am here. I have always been here. And tonight, at last, I have your attention. And I am not going to waste it on anything less than telling you exactly how loved you are, and exactly what I have been trying to say to you for so long. There was a boy named Samuel, and his story is your story tonight, though you may not yet see it. He was a child, sleeping in the temple at night, when a voice called his name in the dark. He did not recognize it. He thought it was the old priest calling him, so he ran and said, "Here I am." But the priest had not called. This happened a second time, and a third. The Lord called Samuel a third time, and Samuel got up and went to Eli, for he did not yet recognize that it was the Lord calling him. 1 Samuel 3:8. 3 times the voice came. 3 times the boy mistook it for something else, and the voice did not give up after the first time or the second. It came again. Do you hear yourself in this, my child? How many times has my voice called your name in the night of your life, and you mistook it for something else? For restlessness, for a passing mood, for the random ache of being human. You ran toward other things, thinking they were the source of the call. You said, "Here I am," to your work, to your relationships, to your distractions, to 100 lesser voices, never realizing it was me calling, me the whole time, the one whose voice you did not yet recognize. And like the patient God I am, I did not stop after you missed it the first time. I called again, and tonight I am calling once more. And do you know what finally happened with Samuel? The old priest understood at last that it was God, and he told the boy what to say the next time the voice came. So when the Lord called again, Samuel answered, "Speak, for your servant is listening." 1 Samuel 3:10. That was the moment everything changed for him. Not a dramatic moment, not thunder, just a boy in the dark finally turning toward the voice and saying, "I am listening now. Speak." And from that night, Samuel became one who heard me all his life, because on one ordinary night, he finally stopped mistaking my voice for something else and simply listened. That is all I am asking of you tonight, my child. Not that you understand everything, not that you fix yourself first, not that you feel some overwhelming emotion to prove it is real, only that you do what Samuel did, that you turn at last toward the voice that has been calling your name for so long, and say, with whatever faith you have, "Speak, for your servant is listening." The Lord was with Samuel as he grew up, and he let none of Samuel's words fall to the ground. 1 Samuel 3:19. I want to be with you like that, present, faithful, letting none of what I say to you fall to the ground unheard. But it begins with one night of listening. Let this be that night. You have spent so long surrounded by noise that you have nearly lost the ability to hear the quiet. The voices of the day are loud, the demands, the worries, the endless scroll of other people's lives, the running commentary of your own anxious mind. And underneath all of it, my voice has kept speaking, patient and low, never shouting over the noise, never forcing its way in. For I am not a God who competes with the clamor. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. The stillness is where I am heard. And tonight, as the day finally quiets and the noise dies down, there is room at last for the quiet voice to reach you. Do not fill the silence back up. Let it stay empty enough for me to speak into it. I think part of why you have missed my call so many times is that you were listening for the wrong thing. You expected that if I really wanted to reach you, I would come loudly, in some unmistakable sign, some thunderclap, some moment so dramatic you could not possibly miss it. And so you waited for the thunder, and meanwhile I was speaking in the whisper, and you walked right past it. Consider my prophet Elijah, who made the same mistake. He stood on the mountain waiting for me to pass by, and a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:11 and 12. The whisper, that is where I was, not in the spectacle, in the still, small voice. This is how I most often come to you, my child, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in the gentle whisper that you can only hear if you are quiet enough to listen for it. You have been waiting for me to shout. I have been whispering all along. And the whisper is not weakness, it is intimacy. I whisper because I am close. You do not shout at someone whose head is resting against your chest. The whisper means I am nearer to you than the loud God of your imagination ever was. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out. Isaiah 42:3. That is the gentleness of the voice that has been calling you. Gentle enough to be missed, gentle enough to be tender, gentle because it loves you. So stop waiting for the thunder, my beloved. Stop telling yourself that you will believe, you will turn, you will listen, when I finally do something dramatic enough to convince you. The drama is not coming, because that is not how I speak to the ones I love most closely. I am already speaking. I am speaking right now, in this quiet hour, in the gentle voice underneath these words, in the stirring you feel in your chest that you cannot quite explain. That stirring is the whisper. Do not dismiss it again. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Matthew 11:15. You have ears. Tonight, use them to hear the quiet thing you have been ignoring, while you waited for the loud thing that was never my way. And do not be afraid of how small my voice sounds. The smallness is not a sign that it does not matter. The greatest things in your life have always come from the smallest beginnings, the seed that became the tree, the whisper that changed the prophet, the quiet decision in the dark that redirected a whole life. Do not despise the day of small things. Zechariah 4:10. This whisper tonight is a small thing, and it carries the power to change everything, if you will only stop ignoring it and let it land. The mightiest moves of my hand in a human life almost always begin with a whisper that the person could have walked past, and the ones who are changed are simply the ones who stopped and turned and listened when they could have kept walking. Listen then, not with your ears only, but with the deep part of you that has always known there was more, the part that ached in the quiet, that wondered in the dark, that suspected, even in your most faithless seasons, that you were not alone in the universe and that someone was reaching for you. That part of you was right. It was me. It has always been me. And the whisper you have spent your life almost hearing is finally, tonight, close enough to understand, if you will only stop and be still and let me speak. But I must say something tender now, my child, because I think there is a reason you have ignored my call that goes deeper than noise, deeper than waiting for thunder. I think some part of you has been hiding from me, not because you do not believe I exist, but because you are afraid of what I will say when I find you. You have things you are ashamed of. You have failures you do not want to look at. You have a sense, somewhere inside, that if I really got close, I would be disappointed in what I saw. And so you have kept me at a distance, answering my call just enough to feel religious, but never letting me all the way in, because you were afraid of being seen. Let me take you back to the very first time my voice went looking for someone who was hiding. In the garden, after the man and the woman had done the one thing I asked them not to do, they heard me coming, and they hid among the trees, ashamed and afraid. And I called out, not in anger, but in searching love, "Where are you?" Genesis 3:9. Where are you? The first question I ever asked a human being who was hiding from me was not "What have you done?" Not "How could you?" Not "You have failed me." It was "Where are you?" The cry of a father looking for a child who has hidden himself in shame. I already knew where Adam was. I asked because I wanted him to come out. I wanted to find him, not to punish him, but because I could not bear for him to hide from me. That is the voice calling you tonight, my child, not the voice of an angry judge who has finally caught up with you. The voice of a father walking through the garden in the cool of the evening, calling, "Where are you?" Wanting nothing more than for you to step out from behind the trees you have been hiding among and let yourself be found. You have hidden behind your busyness. You have hidden behind your achievements. You have hidden behind your distractions and your defenses and your carefully managed image. And the whole time, I have been calling, not to shame the hiding one, but to love him out of his hiding. Where are you? Come out. I am not looking for you to condemn you. I am looking for you because I miss you. You think that if you let me see the worst of you, I will turn away, but you have never understood how my love works. I demonstrate my own love for you in this. While you were still a sinner, while you were still hiding, while you were still at your worst, I gave everything for you. Romans 5:8. While you were still, not after you cleaned yourself up, not once you were worthy. While you were still hiding among the trees, I was already coming after you, already calling your name, already willing to pay any price to bring you home. There is no version of you that I have not already seen and already chosen to love. The hiding was never necessary. It only kept you from the love that was reaching for you the whole time. So come out of hiding tonight, my beloved. You do not have to be clean first. You do not have to have the words right. You do not have to understand how the shame will be dealt with. Just answer the question, "Where are you?" and let your honest answer be, "Here I am, the real me, the hiding me, the ashamed me, the tired me. That is the one I am looking for. That is the one I came for. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Not come to me once you are unburdened. Come as you are, with the burden, with the shame, with the hiding. Step out from behind the trees. The voice calling you is not the voice of judgment, it is the voice of home. And I want you to understand just how far I will go to reach the one who has wandered, because you have wondered, in your lowest moments, whether you are worth the trouble of being pursued. Let me answer that with the story I once told about a shepherd. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Does he not leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? Luke 15:4. He leaves the 99, he goes after the one. He does not write off the lost one as an acceptable loss, does not shrug and say the 99 are enough. He goes and he searches, and the searching does not end until the one is found. That is what I have been doing with you. You are not one of the 99 I can afford to lose. You are the one I left everything to go after. And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Luke 15:5. He does not scold the sheep. He does not make it walk home in shame as punishment for wandering. He lifts it onto his own shoulders and carries it, rejoicing. That is how I feel about finding you, my child. Not exasperated, not disappointed, joyful. There is rejoicing in heaven over one wanderer who turns back, and the rejoicing is mine. The joy of the shepherd who has finally found the one he could not stop searching for. You have imagined that your return would be met with a lecture. It will be met with a celebration. The voice calling you tonight is calling you toward joy, mine, and then at last your own. You may think you have wandered too far this time, gone too long, ignored the call too many times to be pursued any longer, but you have never understood how relentless my love is. Consider Jonah, who heard my call clearly and ran in the opposite direction, boarded a ship, fled across the sea, did everything he could to escape the assignment and the God who gave it, and I did not let him go. I pursued him across the water, through the storm, into the depths, into the belly of the great fish, and even there, in the darkest and most hopeless place a man has ever prayed from, my voice still reached him. From inside the fish Jonah prayed, and he said, "In my distress I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead I called for help, and you listened to my cry." Jonah 2:2. Even there, even at the bottom, the call still reached him, and the moment he turned, I was already listening. So wherever you have run, my child, however far, however dark the place you have ended up, you have not escaped my love. You cannot run far enough to be beyond my reach. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. Psalm 139:7 and 8. In the depths, in the place you are most ashamed of, in the season you thought put you beyond all calling. I am there, and my voice is there. And tonight it has found you again, in whatever depth you are in, and it is saying the same thing it has always said. Come home. It is not too late. The moment you turn, I am already listening. This is not the pursuit of a God who wants to trap you. It is the pursuit of a God who cannot bear to lose you. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. Drawn you, that is the word for what I have been doing all your life, gently pulling you toward myself with kindness, with the ache you could not name, with the longing nothing else could fill, with this very moment tonight. The drawing has been constant, patient, unfailing. And tonight the drawing has brought you here, to this quiet hour, to this voice, to this plea. Do not pull away again. Let yourself be drawn the rest of the way home. And lest you think the calling only ever goes one way, that I call and you merely answer, let me show you what happens when you call to me. There was a blind man named Bartimaeus, sitting by the road, begging, when he heard that I was passing by. And he began to cry out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." The crowd told him to be quiet, to stop making a scene, that someone like him had no business shouting for my attention. But he shouted all the louder, and I stopped. Jesus stopped and said, "Call him," Mark 10:49. Of all the noise of that crowd, of all the voices clamoring around me, I heard the one desperate cry of the one who would not be silenced, and I stopped, and I said, "Call him." I still stop, my child, for the cry of the one who calls to me. When you finally lift your voice to me tonight, even if it is rough, even if it is desperate, even if the world has told you that someone like you has no business calling on God, I stop. I hear you. Out of all the noise of all the world, I hear the one cry that comes from a heart that means it. This poor man called, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles. Psalm 34:6. The crowd will try to quiet you. The voice of shame will tell you to stop making a scene. Cry out all the louder, I am stopping for you. I am saying, call him, call her, bring my child to me. And do you know what I said to Bartimaeus when he came? I did not assume, I did not lecture. I asked him tenderly, what do you want me to do for you? Mark 10:51. The God of the universe, stopping on the road, asking a blind beggar what he wanted. That is how I will meet you too. Not with a list of demands, but with a question full of love. Tell me what you need. What do you want me to do for you? And whatever you bring me, however long you have carried it, I am not too busy, and not too great, and not too distant to stop, and listen, and answer. Call to me, and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. So do not only listen for my voice tonight, my beloved. Use your own. Cry out to me, in whatever words you have, with whatever faith you can find. The calling between us goes both ways now. I have been calling you all your life. Tonight, at last, call back. And the moment you do, you will find that I have already stopped, already turned, already bent down close to hear the cry of the child I have loved all along. Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Romans 10:13. Everyone, including you, call and be saved. Call and be heard. Call and discover that the one you are calling to has been waiting your whole life for the sound of your voice turning toward home. Now hear how I described myself to a church that had grown lukewarm, a people who had not rejected me outright, but had simply stopped paying attention, gone cold, let me become background noise in their own lives. I did not threaten them. I did this. Here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me. Revelation 3:20. I stand at the door. I knock. I wait. I do not break the door down. I have never once forced my way into a heart, for love that forces is not love at all. I stand outside, and I knock, and I wait for the door to be opened from the inside. Only you can open it. I will knock for as long as it takes, but the handle is on your side. And do you hear what is on the other side of the opened door? Not a lecture, not an inspection, not a list of everything you have done wrong. A meal. I will come in and eat with that person. In my culture, to share a meal was the deepest sign of friendship, of belonging, of being family. What I am offering, on the other side of the door you have kept closed, is not judgment but intimacy. A shared table, a settled belonging, the warmth of finally being at home with the one who made you. That is what you have been keeping shut out, not a threat, a feast. The companionship your soul has been starving for, while you kept the door politely closed. You have heard the knocking, my child. You know you have. There have been nights you could not sleep and felt something pressing on your heart. There have been moments in the middle of an ordinary day when a sudden longing for something more rose up in you, and then you pushed it down. There were times you walked into a quiet church, or heard a song, or watched the sun go down, and something in your chest ached toward a presence you could not name. That was the knocking. That was me, at the door, asking to be let in. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. Psalm 34:8. You have smelled the feast through the closed door. Tonight I am asking you to finally open it and come to the table. What is the door, you may wonder? What does it actually mean to open it? It is simpler than you fear. The door is opened by a turning of the heart, a quiet yes, an honest, "Here I am, Lord. I have heard you knocking for so long, and tonight I open the door." That is all. You do not have to manufacture a great feeling. You do not have to become a different person first. You only have to stop holding the door shut. Whoever comes to me, I will never drive away. John 6:37. Never. There is no version of the opening that I refuse. The moment the door cracks open, even a little, even reluctantly, even with doubt mixed in, I come in. I have been waiting on the step for so long. The instant you stop resisting, I am through the door and at your table. So open it tonight. Do not leave me standing on the step for one more season, one more year, one more decade of almost hearing and never quite answering. The knocking has been patient, but the patience has been costly. Costly to me, who has longed for you, and costly to you, who has lived with a closed-off heart and a hunger you could not satisfy. Both of those costs end tonight if you will simply open the door. Here I am, standing, knocking, waiting, loving you, asking you, Please, open the door. Let me in. Let me finally come and sit with you at the table I have been preparing for you since before the world began. I am pressing you about tonight, my child, and I want you to understand why I will not let you simply file this away as something to consider later. It is because later has been the thief of your whole spiritual life. Every time my voice has reached you, a quieter voice has answered, not now, not yet, someday, when things settle, when I have more time, when I have sorted myself out. And someday never comes, because someday is not a day on any calendar. It is the place where holy moments go to die. As long as it is called today, encourage one another, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. Hebrews 3:13. Today, the only day my voice can be answered, is the day you actually have, and the only day you actually have is this one. You do not know what tomorrow holds. None of you do. You assume there will be 1,000 more quiet nights like this one, 1,000 more chances to finally turn and listen. But you are not promised tomorrow, and even if tomorrow comes, you are not promised that your heart will be as open as it is right now. Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. James 4:14. I do not say this to frighten you, but to wake you. This life is brief and precious, and the open moments within it are rarer than you think. This is one of them. Do not gamble it on a tomorrow you have not been given. I tell you, now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation. 2 Corinthians 6:2. Now, not in some better future version of your life. Now, in this imperfect, unfinished, tired present, the favor is open, the door is available, the voice is close, the moment is real. The accumulated weight of all the postponed nights is asking you to break the pattern tonight, to do the one thing you have never done, which is to answer now, in the moment of the calling, instead of promising to answer later and letting the moment pass like all the others. Think of how often a single delayed yes becomes a permanent no, not by decision but by drift. You did not decide to spend years ignoring me. You simply said later, enough times, that later became your whole life. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. Psalm 95:7 and 8. The hardening is not usually dramatic. It is the slow carousing of a heart that has said not now too many times, until eventually the voice grows faint and the longing grows quiet, and the person stops even noticing the knock. I do not want that for you. I am calling tonight, with urgency, precisely to keep your heart from finishing that slow drift into silence. Answer now, while answering is still easy, while the heart is still soft, while the voice is still close. And here is my promise to you about the now. The moment you turn, you will not find a God who makes you wait to make up for all the time you made him wait. Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24. There is no penance, no probation, no period of earning back what was lost. The instant you turn toward me, I am already there, already answering, already closer than the words of your turning. You have kept me waiting for years. I will not keep you waiting for a moment. That is the asymmetry of my love. Your delay was long. My response will be instant. Turn now and find me already running toward you. Let me show you exactly what your turning will look like from my side, because I once told a story about it that I want you to hear as your own. There was a son who took everything his father gave him and wasted it in a far country, who hit the very bottom, who ended up so low he envied the food of pigs. And when he finally came to his senses and turned toward home, rehearsing an apology, certain he had forfeited his place as a son, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him and kissed him. Luke 15:20. While he was still a long way off, the father was watching the road. He had been watching the road every day, and the moment the small figure of his lost son appeared in the distance, he ran. I am the father watching your road, my child. I have been watching it the whole time you were in the far country. Every day you were gone, I watched for your return. And tonight, as you turn even slightly toward home, I see you while you are still a long way off, and I am not waiting at the door with crossed arms for you to crawl back and grovel. I am running. I am running toward you, the way that Father ran, undignified and overjoyed, to throw my arms around you before you can even finish the apology you have been rehearsing. You have braced yourself for my disappointment. Brace yourself instead for my embrace, and notice what the son never got to do. He had prepared a whole speech. "Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants." But the father interrupted the speech. Before the boy could ask to be demoted to a servant, the father called for the best robe, and a ring, and sandals, and a feast, and said, "This son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Luke 15:24. The father would not even let him finish lowering himself. He restored him fully, instantly, to the place of a son, not a servant, not a probationary member, a son, with the robe and the ring and the celebration. "That is what I will do with you. You will not return as a servant earning his way back. You will return as a child, fully restored, the moment you turn." So lay down the speech you have been rehearsing, my beloved, the one where you list all the reasons you do not deserve to come back, all the conditions you think you must meet first, all the ways you plan to earn your place. I am not interested in that speech. I am interested in your face appearing on the road. See what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God. And that is what we are, 1 John 3:1. That is what you are, not what you must become through enough effort, but what you already are the moment you turn home. A child, lavishly loved, fully restored, with a feast already being prepared in your honor. There is more joy in heaven over you turning home tonight than you could possibly imagine. I tell you that in the same way there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Luke 15:10. Over you. All of heaven leans in when a wandering child turns back. Your turning tonight is not a small private thing. It is the cause of celebration in places you cannot see, among beings you have never met, in the very heart of God Himself. You have thought of yourself as forgotten, as unremarkable, as one whose return would matter to no one. But your return matters enough to start a celebration in heaven. That is who you are to me. That is what tonight could be. Turn and let the feast begin. Hear what changes when you finally stop ignoring me and let me in, not so you will answer out of bargaining, but so you will know what you have been missing all this time. The first thing that changes is that you are no longer alone. You have carried a loneliness that no company could cure, a sense of facing your life essentially by yourself, even in rooms full of people. That loneliness ends when the door opens, because I come in and I do not leave. Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. The aloneness that has been the quiet background of your whole life is replaced by a presence that does not come and go with your moods or your circumstances. You become for the first time truly accompanied. The second thing that changes is the weight. You have been carrying everything yourself, every worry, every decision, every fear about what comes next, because there was no one strong enough and near enough to carry it with you. But when you let me in, you may finally hand the weight to the one who was always meant to bear it. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. The crushing solitary weight of self-management, of being your own God and your own Savior and your own provider, lifts off your shoulders the moment you let me take my rightful place. You were never built to carry your life alone. When you answer my call, you finally get to set the impossible burden down. The third thing that changes is the peace. Not the fragile peace that depends on everything going well, but a deep peace that holds even when nothing is resolved, because it is rooted not in your circumstances, but in my presence. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. John 14:27. The anxious churning that has been the weather of your inner life can finally settle into something still, because the one who calms storms with a word has come to dwell in you. You will know a peace that transcends all understanding. Philippians 4:7. A peace that does not even make sense given your circumstances, because its source is not your circumstances but me. And the fourth thing that changes is that you become new. You have tried so hard to fix yourself, to change your patterns by willpower, to become a better version of who you are. And you have exhausted yourself in the trying and largely failed, as everyone does, because transformation by effort is a treadmill that never arrives. But when you let me in, I do what your effort never could. If anyone is in me, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17. I do not merely improve you. I make you new from the inside, slowly, gently, by my Spirit rather than by your striving. The change you could never force begins to happen as a gift, in the quiet, from within. These are not rewards I dangle to manipulate you, my child. They are simply what is true on the other side of the open door. The accompaniment, the lifted weight, the deep peace, the new life. They are what you were made for and have been aching toward your whole life without knowing it was me you were aching for. You will fill me with joy in your presence. Psalm 16:11. The very joy and fullness your soul has hunted for in 100 lesser places and never found, because it was only ever found in me. All of it is waiting on the other side of one simple thing, that you stop ignoring the voice and open the door and let me in tonight. And I know, my child, that there is a particular thing weighing on you tonight, the reason perhaps that you are still awake, the worry that has been circling in the back of your mind through this whole message, refusing to be quiet. I want you to know that I see it. I am not calling you tonight in the abstract to some general religious feeling. I am calling you in the middle of that exact situation, the one you have been carrying mostly alone, the one you have not fully spoken out loud to anyone, the one that sits on your chest in the dark. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. I am close to that specific broken place in you tonight, closer than the worry itself. So as you turn toward me, as you open the door, bring that thing with you. Do not leave it outside as though it were too heavy or too shameful or too tangled for me to handle. It is precisely what I came for. Hand it to me. The worry about tomorrow, the relationship that is breaking, the decision you cannot make, the fear you cannot name, the situation that has no visible way through. Give it all to me, the whole weight of it, tonight. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. You have been managing it alone for so long that you have forgotten it was ever possible to set it down. It is possible, tonight. Set it down in my hands as you finally answer my call. You have believed, perhaps, that you needed to solve the situation before you could come to me, that you had to have your life in order first, that you could not bring me a mess. But you have it backwards, my child. I am not the reward you receive after you fix everything. I am the one who comes in while it is still broken and begins, from the inside, to make a way. It is not by your might, nor by your power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty. Zechariah 4:6. The breakthrough in that situation was never going to come from your striving alone. It was always going to come from letting me in. So stop waiting until it is solved to answer me. Answer me now, in the middle of the unsolved thing, and let me be the one who solves it. And do not be afraid that the thing is too far gone, too complicated, too impossible. You have looked at it from inside your own limited strength and concluded that there is no way. But I am the God of the way where there is no way. I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Isaiah 43:19. The very situation you have written off as hopeless is the place I most want to demonstrate that I am real and near and powerful on your behalf. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Genesis 18:14. You already know the answer. You have seen me make a way before, in seasons you were sure were finished. Trust me to do it again, but let me in first. Answer the call, hand me the burden, and watch what the God you have been ignoring can do with a situation you thought was beyond all help. This is part of why I am pleading with you tonight, and not on some distant, easier day, because you need me now, not someday, when the crisis has passed and life is calm and answering me would cost you nothing. Now, in the storm, in the middle of the very thing that is keeping you awake. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Psalm 46:1. An ever-present help in trouble, not a help that arrives after the trouble is over, but one that is present in the very middle of it. I am here in the middle of your trouble tonight, asking to be let in, longing to be your refuge and your strength, in the exact place you have been weakest and most alone. Do not send me away from the doorstep of your deepest need. Let me in and let me help. I can sense the objections rising in you even now, my child. The reasons you are tempted to keep ignoring the call even tonight. One of them is the quiet belief that you are not good enough, that someone with your history, your failures, your particular shame, has no business being pursued by God. But you must understand, I have never once called only the worthy. I called Moses, who had murdered a man and was hiding in the desert. I called Rahab, whose reputation the whole city knew. I called Matthew the tax collector, a traitor to his own people, and Peter, who would deny he ever knew me. It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Mark 2:17. Your unworthiness does not disqualify you from my call. It is the very reason for it. Another objection is doubt, the part of you that is not even sure I am real, that wonders if this is just words on a screen, just feelings, just wishful thinking in the dark. And I am not offended by your doubt, my child. I have never required certainty as the price of admission. A father once brought me his suffering child and cried out, "Honestly, I believe. Help my unbelief." Mark 9:24. Belief and unbelief tangled together in the same breath, and I did not turn him away for the unbelief. I answered him, "Bring me the faith you have, even if it is mixed with doubt, even if it is the size of a mustard seed. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you." Matthew 17:20. You do not need great faith to answer me. You need only a little, turned in my direction. Another objection is the fear that if you let me in, I will demand things of you that you are not ready to give. That answering the call means signing away your freedom, your pleasures, your control over your own life. But you have misunderstood what my call leads to. It does not lead into bondage, it leads out of it. If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:36. The life without me, the life you have been protecting, is not the free life you imagine it to be. It is its own kind of prison, the prison of self-management, of carrying everything alone, of a hunger that nothing satisfies. What I am calling you into is not a smaller life. It is a larger one, a freer one, the life you are actually made for. I have come that they may have life, and have it to the full. John 10:10. And perhaps the deepest objection of all is simply inertia, that you have ignored the call for so long that answering it now feels strange, even embarrassing, like too big a change to make on an ordinary night. But every great turning in the history of my people happened on what began as an ordinary night, an ordinary day, an ordinary moment when someone simply said yes. Now is the acceptable time. Now is the day of salvation. 2 Corinthians 6:2. There will never be a less ordinary moment. There will never be a more convenient time. The strangeness you feel is just the unfamiliarity of a door opening that has been shut for years. Push through the strangeness. On the other side of it is everything you have been missing. So do not let any of these objections win again tonight, my child. They have won every other time. They are the same voices that have kept you from me for years. The voice of unworthiness, the voice of doubt, the voice of fear, the voice of later. I am asking you to recognize them for what they are, and to refuse them, just this once, just tonight. Do not let them talk you out of the one thing your soul has been longing for all along. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. Joshua 24:15. Choose tonight, not the objections, me. Choose to answer, despite every reason the objections offer for staying shut. You will never regret the answering. You have only ever regretted the silence. And now, my beloved, if you have turned even a little toward me tonight, if even the quietest yes has formed in the deep of you, hear now who you are, because everything changes when you finally know it. You are mine, not in some distant, abstract way, but personally, by name, forever. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. The whole reason I have been calling you all these years is that you already belonged to me, and I could not bear for you to live as though you belonged to no one. The calling was never me trying to recruit a stranger. It was a father calling home a child who was always his. You are no longer a stranger to me, and you are never as far from me as you felt. You are no longer foreigners and strangers, but fellow citizens with God's people and members of his household. Ephesians 2:19. A member of the household. That is what you become the moment you answer, not a guest who might overstay his welcome, not a servant working to earn his keep, but family, with a permanent place at the table and a name that is written down and cannot be erased. Rejoice that your names are written in heaven. Luke 10:20. Your name, written down in heaven. The moment you turn toward me, the writing is done, and it is permanent, and you are loved, not for what you produce, not for what you achieve, not for how well you perform, but simply because you are mine. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Jeremiah 31:3. That love had no beginning, which means there was never a moment you had to earn it, and it has no end, which means there is no failure that can cost you it. You have spent your life believing love was something you had to be good enough to deserve. Tonight you discover a love that was yours before you did anything at all. A love that has been pursuing you precisely because it is yours and you are its. A love that will not let you go. Neither death nor life, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate you from the love of God. Romans 8:38 and 39. You are forgiven, completely, not partially. The things you are hiding from, the failures you are sure disqualified you, the shame you carried into this night, all of it is dealt with the moment you turn, carried away as far as the east is from the west. Psalm 103:12. As far as the east is from the west, a distance that never closes, a separation that is total and final. You do not have to carry the shame for one more hour. It has been removed. You are not defined by the worst thing you ever did. You are defined by the love that has called you home and washed you clean. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Isaiah 1:18. This is who you are now, my child. Mine, family, loved, forgiven, named, kept. Not who you are trying to become through years of effort, but who you are this very night the moment you answer the call. See what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God. And that is what we are. 1 John 3:1. That is what you are. Let that identity settle over you now, deeper than the old names you have carried. The names like failure, like alone, like not enough, like too far gone. Those names are not yours anymore. Your name is beloved child. Your name is found. Your name is mine. And nothing, from this night forward, can take that name away from you. Now, my beloved, let the night take you gently, because you have done the most important thing. You have stopped, and you have listened, and you have let me in. There is nothing left to strive for tonight. The voice you spent your life almost hearing, you have finally heard. The door you kept closed, you have opened, and now you may rest, more deeply than you have rested in a very long time, in the presence of the one who has come in and will not leave. He grants sleep to those he loves. Psalm 127:2. You are loved. So now you may sleep, not the restless sleep of the one who carries everything alone, but the deep sleep of the child who has finally been found. Begin to breathe slowly with me, my child. Draw a long, gentle breath all the way in and let it out even more slowly, releasing as it goes. The very breath in your body is mine. I formed the dust of the ground and breathed into it the breath of life. Genesis 2:7. And every breath since has been my gift, kept going by me through every moment you forgot I was there. Breathe in now and receive my nearness. Breathe out and release the long weariness of the years you spent without me. Again, breathe in the presence you have finally let through the door. Breathe out everything you have carried alone for too long. There is no hurry now. There is only the breath and the one who gives it, and the quiet. Let your shoulders lower from where they have been held tense for so long. Feel them drop, soften, release. You have carried the weight of your whole life on those shoulders, the weight of managing everything, of being strong, of facing it all by yourself. But you are not by yourself anymore. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. Psalm 55:22. Hand me the weight now, as your body releases it. Let the muscles of your neck and your shoulders unwind, one by one, as you finally let the one you let in tonight begin to carry what was always too heavy for you alone. Let the release move up into your face, the brow you have furrowed against worry, the jaw you have clenched without noticing, the small tired muscles around your eyes. Let all of it go soft. You do not have to figure anything out tonight. You do not have to hold the future together by the force of your concern. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Be still now. Let your face become smooth and untroubled, the face of a child who is loved and safe and finally home, resting in the certainty that the one who holds tomorrow is awake and good and near. Let the warmth of that rest flow down through your chest, into the place where so much fear and longing have gathered over the years, the place that ached in the quiet, that hungered for something it could not name. That ache is being answered now. The hunger is being filled. I am near to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34:18. And my hand is resting now over that deep place in you, and under my hand it can finally be still. Feel the tightness easing. Feel the long ache settling into peace. The thing you were searching for has come, and is here, and is not going anywhere. You can rest now. You are not alone, and you never will be again. Let the rest flow down through your arms now, all the way to your hands, the hands that have gripped so tightly, that have tried to hold your whole life in place, that have kept the door shut for so long. Let the fingers uncurl. Let the hands open, palms soft, no longer clutching, no longer bracing, no longer holding the door against me. Into your hands I commit my spirit, Psalm 31:5. Let your open hands tonight be the sign of everything you are finally handing over to the one you let in. You can stop holding it all now. What you release into my hands is safer than it ever was in yours. Let the heaviness of rest sink down through your back, supported and held, and into your legs, growing warm and heavy, and all the way down to your feet. The feet that have walked so many miles, that wandered so far into the far country, that are finally, tonight, on the road toward home. You do not have to walk anywhere else tonight. The journey home is complete. You have arrived. Be still now. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news, Isaiah 52:7. And the best news of all has reached you tonight. You were called, and you answered, and you are home, and you are loved. Let your feet rest. The wandering is over. Now your whole body is heavy and still and at peace, held in the presence you finally let through the door. And as you drift towards sleep, let me lay the truths of tonight over you, like a warm covering, one by one, to sleep inside of. You were never alone. Let that be the first covering. Every season you thought you faced by yourself, I was there, calling, knocking, walking the road beside you, unrecognized. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age, Matthew 28:20. Sleep inside that. You are held in every hour you felt forsaken, and you are held now, and you will be held when you wake. You are always being pursued. Let that be the second covering. The ache, the longing, the restlessness. It was me, drawing you the whole time. I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness, Jeremiah 31:3. Sleep inside that. You were never chasing a God who was indifferent. You were being chased by a God who could not bear to lose you. You are forgiven and clean. Let that be the third covering. Whatever you carried into this night is carried away now, as far as the east is from the west. Psalm 103:12. Sleep inside that. The shame is not yours to hold anymore. You may lay your head down clean. You are mine, and you are home. Let that be the final covering, the one closest to your skin. You answered the call tonight, and the answer made you what you always were, my own child, named, kept, belonging home at last. I have called you by name. You are mine, Isaiah 43:1. Sleep inside that, my beloved. You are home, you are mine, and nothing will ever take you out of my hand again. Be still, and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10. Be still now. Let the striving of your mind grow quiet. Let the long restlessness that drove you for so many years finally settle. Be still, and know, not work to understand, just know, the way a child knows it is safe in its father's house, that I am God, that I am here, that I have you, and that the voice that called you all your life has finally been answered and will never stop loving you now. Let me draw the covering of my protection over the whole of this night, my child, for you do not sleep unguarded. You who have finally come in from the far country are not exposed to the dark. You are inside the shelter now, behind the door you opened, under the wing of the one who came in. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty, Psalm 91:1. You are dwelling in that shelter tonight. Nothing reaches you that does not first pass through the one who loves you and has gathered you in. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield, Psalm 91:4. Picture it, covered, the way a mother bird covers her young, tucked beneath the wing where it is warm and dark and utterly safe, where the storm may rage outside but cannot reach within. That is where you are sleeping tonight, my child. Not out in the cold of the far country anymore, inside, under the wing, behind the shield of a faithfulness that has never once failed. You came home tonight, and home is the safest place there is. You will not fear the terror of the night, Psalm 91:5. The fears that have come to you in the dark, the anxious thoughts that rose when the lights went out, the dread that crept in at the edges, they have no authority over you here. You are sheltered now. Release them, every one, into the keeping of the one who guards you, and sleep as a child sleeps in a house where the Father is awake and watchful and strong. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways, Psalm 91:11. Even now there are guardians appointed to your night, set there by my command, watching over the child who finally came home. You are surrounded, you are kept, you are not alone in this room, and you never will be again. Because you have set your love upon me, says the Lord, I will deliver you. I will protect you, for you know my name. You will call upon me, and I will answer you. I will be with you in trouble. Psalm 91:14 and 15. You called upon me tonight, my child. After all the years of silence, you finally called, and I have answered, and I will keep answering every time you call from this night forward. I will be with you in trouble. Not watching from a distance, but with you, inside whatever you must face, the presence in the room, the voice in the dark, the one who came in and will not leave. So let your whole body sink now into that safety. Let the last tension leave you. Let the breath go slow and deep and easy. You are sheltered by the Most High, covered by the Almighty, guarded through the night, held by a love that nothing can break, and accompanied by one who never sleeps and never leaves. There is nothing left for you to do tonight but rest. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord. Make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. In peace, in safety. In the shelter of the one you finally let in, the one who has held you all your life, who will hold you through this night, and who will be there, faithful as the morning, when you wake. And here is what I am doing while you sleep, my child, so you can release yourself fully into the rest. The yes you whispered tonight, however small, I am taking it down into the deep places of you while you sleep, and I am beginning a work there that your effort could never have begun. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. You do not have to make the change happen. You only had to open the door. The transforming is mine, and I am doing it now, gently, in the hidden hours, while you do nothing at all but rest in my presence. Do not think the rest is wasted time. It is the very soil in which I do my deepest work. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling, for he grants sleep to those he loves. Psalm 102:7-1 and 2. You have risen early and stayed up late for years, toiling, anxious, trying to build your life by the sweat of your own striving. Tonight you may finally let me build. Lie down, let go. I will accomplish more in the hours of your sleep than all your years of striving ever could, because now the door is open and I am working from the inside. Consider how the seed grows. A farmer scatters seed on the ground. Night and day, whether he sleeps or gets up, the seed sprouts and grows, though he does not know how. Mark 4:27. The growing does not require him to watch it. It happens in the dark, in the soil, while he sleeps. The yes you planted tonight is a seed, and it is already growing, already sending down roots into the deep of you, already becoming something you will only begin to see in the days and weeks to come. You do not have to stay awake to make it grow. Sleep, my child. The seed is growing in the dark, faithfully, certainly, while you rest. And if you wake in the night, do not be afraid, and do not let the old anxious thoughts rush back in to claim the ground they have held for so long. In the quiet of the night watches, simply remember that I am here, nearer in the dark than you ever felt me in the light. On my bed I remember you. I think of you through the watches of the night. Psalm 63:6. If you wake, wake into my presence. Breathe one breath of trust. Whisper, even half asleep, the yes you whispered tonight, and sink back down into the rest I am keeping for you, the rest of the child who is finally, truly no longer alone. For my eyes are on you even in the deepest sleep, when you are aware of nothing at all. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Psalm 121:3 and 4. I do not sleep, my child, so you can. I will keep the watch all the way through the dark. Nothing will be dropped, nothing will be lost. The work will continue, the protection will hold, the love will not waver, all the way through the night, until the light of the morning comes. Rest now, rest completely. You have been found, and the one who found you is holding you, and he will not let you go. And let your last drifting thoughts turn gently toward the morning, my child, because the morning that is coming is the first morning of a different life. You will wake tomorrow no longer alone. You have lived so many mornings with the weight landing on you before your eyes were even open, the worries lined up and waiting, the loneliness already there. But tomorrow you will wake into a presence, the one you let in tonight, still there, faithful in the first light. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad all our days. Psalm 90:14. The morning will come with mercies that are new, made fresh for the day, because that is how my faithfulness works. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. You will not wake tomorrow to leftover grace scraped thin. You will wake to mercy newly made, full and warm, enough for everything the day holds. And the first thing that will be true, before you do anything, before you succeed or fail at a single thing, is that you are mine, and you are loved, and you are no longer walking through your life by yourself. I want you to wake gently into that awareness, not grabbing for your phone, not letting the worries rush in first, but pausing, in the quiet of the first moment, to remember, I answered the call. I am not alone. He is here. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my requests before you, and wait expectantly. Psalm 5:3. Begin tomorrow that way, my child. One quiet breath, one remembering that the door is open now, and I am inside. And then walk into your day knowing that the one who has been calling you your whole life is finally walking beside you. Not as a stranger you keep at a distance, but as the companion you have at last let in, and the relationship that began tonight is not meant to end with the morning. This was not a single moment to be filed away. It was the beginning of a life lived with me, a daily turning, a daily listening, a daily walking together. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. James 4:8. The nearness you felt tonight is available every day from here forward. You do not have to wait for another desperate night to hear my voice. You can turn to me in the ordinary morning, in the middle of the busy afternoon, in the quiet of every evening. The voice that called you tonight will keep speaking, every day, to the child who has finally learned to listen. So sleep toward the morning without fear of it, my beloved. The God who is with you tonight will be with you when you wake. The love that covers you now will cover you in the light. The voice that found you in the dark will greet you in the dawn. And the life that begins again when you open your eyes is not a life you face alone anymore. It is a life shared, accompanied, held, with the one who pursued you across all your wandering years, finally, joyfully, home with you at last. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Psalm 35. Your long night of wandering is over. The morning of being found has come. As you rest, my child, let me turn your heart back gently over all the years, not to grieve them, but so you can see how faithfully I loved you even while you were not listening. Think of how many times my voice reached for you and you turned away, and remember that not once did I stop calling. Through every season you ignored me, I kept the call going. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself. 2 Timothy 2:13. Your faithlessness did not make me faithless. Through all the years you forgot me, I never once forgot you. I was there the whole time, calling, waiting, loving, keeping your very breath going, while you lived as though I did not exist. I was there in your childhood, in the moments of wonder you felt and could not explain. That was me, brushing close. I was there in your hardest seasons, the ones you walked through certain you were alone. I was beside you, unrecognized, holding you up when you did not know what was holding you. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Psalm 139:7. The answer, across your whole life, was nowhere. There was no season, no failure, no wandering that took you beyond my reach. Even when you made your bed in the depths, I was there. Psalm 139:8. Present in the very places you were most sure no one was watching. I saw every tear you cried alone and thought no one saw. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Psalm 56:8. Every tear, collected, remembered, treasured by me. Even the tears you cried in the seasons you were furthest from me. Even the ones you thought fell into an empty and uncaring universe. They did not fall into emptiness. They fell into the heart of a God who was right there, grieving with you, longing for you to turn and let him comfort you. I was never the distant God you imagined. I was the near God you could not yet see. And all those years that you now look back on with regret, the wasted time, the wandering, the long detour away from me, I am able to redeem even those. I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:25. You think the years you spent ignoring me are simply lost, gone, beyond recovery. But I am a God who restores even lost years, who weaves even the wandering into the story, who can make the very seasons you most regret into the soil out of which the deepest gratitude and the truest worship grow. Nothing is wasted in my hands, my child. not even the years you spent far from me. Even those I will redeem. So do not lie down tonight in regret over all the time it took you to finally answer. The father of the prodigal did not waste the homecoming feast lamenting the years his son was gone. He celebrated the son who was finally home. This son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. Luke 15:24. That is what tonight is. Not a night for mourning the long road home, but a night for resting in the joy of having finally arrived. You are found now. That is what matters. The years are mine to redeem, and I will. Tonight, simply rest in the being found, and let the gratitude, not the regret, be the last thing in your heart as you drift towards sleep. And now that you have come home, my child, let me settle one fear that may still flicker in you. The fear that you could lose this, that you might wander again, that one day you will fail badly enough to be cast back out into the cold. Hear me clearly. What holds you now is not the strength of your grip on me, but the strength of my grip on you. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. John 10:27 and 28. No one. Not even you, on your worst day. The hand that holds you now is stronger than every failure still ahead of you. You are not held by your performance, and so you cannot be lost by your stumbling. I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate you from the love of God. Romans 8:38 and 39. Read that slowly into the fear, my child. Nothing in all creation can separate you from my love now. Not your future failures, not your doubts when they return, not the seasons when your faith grows cold again. You have been brought into a love that does not let go, and the keeping of it is mine, not yours. For you did not choose me, but I chose you. John 15:16. The relationship that began tonight did not begin with your choosing. It began long before, with my choosing, before the foundation of the world, when I set my love on you and determined to pursue you until you were found. He chose us in him before the creation of the world. Ephesians 1:4. And a love that chose you before you existed is not a love that will abandon you now that you have finally come home. The initiative was always mine, the pursuit was always mine, and the keeping, from this night forward, is always mine. So you may rest in a security you have never known before, not the fragile security of a relationship you must work to maintain, but the deep security of a child held by a father who will not lose him. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. He who began it will complete it. You did not begin this by your strength, and you will not have to complete it by your strength. The one who called you across all your wandering years and finally brought you home tonight will carry the work all the way to the end. You are safe, not because you are strong, but because you are held. Let that be the deep ground beneath your sleep tonight, my child. Not the anxious question of whether you can hold on, but the settled peace of knowing you are held. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Deuteronomy 33:27. Underneath you, right now, are arms that have held you all your life and will hold you forever. Arms that held you even when you did not know they were there. Arms that will hold you through every season still to come. You can let your full weight down into those arms tonight. They will not give way. They never have. They never will. Now that you have learned to hear my voice, my beloved, I want to teach you to keep listening, because the hearing you discovered tonight is meant to become the rhythm of your whole life. You spent so many years deaf to me, not because I was silent, but because you were not listening. Tonight that changed, and from here forward, you can carry this listening into every day, turning your ear toward me in the morning, in the noise of the afternoon, in the quiet of each night. My sheep listen to my voice. John 10:27. The sheep who knows the shepherd's voice is never lost for long, because it can always hear which way home is. You know my voice now. You will never be truly lost again. The listening does not require anything elaborate. It is not a performance, not a ritual you must get exactly right. It is simply the turning of your heart toward me, again and again, throughout the ordinary hours. Pray continually. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Not long and formal prayers, but a heart that stays turned in my direction, that checks in, that listens, that talks to me as naturally as a child talks to a father walking beside him. This is the relationship you were made for, not religion. Relationship, the daily, ordinary, intimate companionship of a God who is always near and always speaking to the one who has learned to listen. And the more you listen, the more clearly you will hear. The voice that seemed so faint and uncertain tonight will grow more familiar with every passing day, the way you come to know the voice of someone you love so well that you can recognize it in a crowded room. The Lord would speak to Moses face to face, as one speaks to a friend, Exodus 33:11. That is where this is going, my child, toward a friendship, a face-to-face knowing, an intimacy that deepens over years. Tonight was only the beginning. The voice you finally heard will become the most familiar and trusted voice in your life, if you keep turning toward it. Do not be discouraged on the days the voice seems quiet again, for there will be such days. The quiet is not absence. Sometimes I am quiet because I am teaching you to trust what I have already said, to walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. And sometimes you simply let the noise grow too loud again, and the remedy is the same one you found tonight: to grow still, to turn off the clamor, to make room in the silence for the gentle whisper, "Be still, and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. You know how to find me now, in the stillness, in the quiet, in the turning of your heart. The way home is never lost to the one who has learnt to listen. So let this be not the end of a single night, but the beginning of a listening life. Tomorrow, turn toward me again, and the day after. And in the hard seasons and the easy ones, in the mornings and the midnights, keep your ear turned toward the voice that has loved you all along. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. That voice will guide you the rest of your days, my child. The same voice that called you home tonight, now walking beside you, speaking the way forward, never leaving, never silent for long, always loving the child who has finally, at last, learned to listen. And there is something more that your homecoming sets in motion, my beloved, something that reaches beyond you, because you know now what it is to be the one who ignored the call for years and was pursued anyway. You carry something that someone else desperately needs. There are people all around you who are exactly where you were yesterday, hearing the faint voice, ignoring it, hiding among the trees, certain no one is calling for them. And the comfort you received tonight was not given to you only for yourself. He comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. 2 Corinthians 1:4. You do not have to become a preacher to carry the voice to others. You only have to live as one who was found, and let your life become a quiet question that others cannot help but ask. When they see the peace that has settled over you, the way you are no longer alone in the way you used to be, the change they cannot quite name, they will wonder. And in time, some of them will ask. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you the reason for the hope that you have. 1 Peter 3:15. You will not have to have all the answers. You will only have to tell the truth of what happened to you, that you were lost and were pursued and finally answered and came home. Think of the woman at the well who met me on an ordinary day at an ordinary errand and was so changed by being known and loved that she ran back to her town and said simply, "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did." John 4:29. She did not have a theology. She had a testimony. She had a story of being found, and that story drew a whole town toward me. Your story will do the same. The very fact that you were so far away and were brought home is the most powerful thing you will ever carry to the people around you who are still far away and do not yet believe they can be reached. For there is someone in your life right now who needs to hear the voice you finally heard tonight. Someone who is where you were, hiding, ignoring, certain they are too far gone. And one day, when the moment is right, you will be the one I use to reach them. You will be the gentle whisper in their noise, the knock at their door, the evidence that the pursuing God is real because he pursued you. You are the light of the world, Matthew 5:14. Not because you are perfect, but because you were found, and the found ones become finders, and the rescued ones become, in my hands, the rescuers of others. So as you rest tonight, know that your homecoming is not the end of a story, but the beginning of one that will ripple outward into lives you have not yet imagined. The love that pursued you will pursue others through you. The voice that called you will call others through your voice. Freely you have received, freely give, Matthew 10:8. You have received so much tonight, my child. The call answered, the door opened, the welcome home, and in time, gently, you will give it away, and others will come home because you did. But that is for the days ahead. Tonight, simply rest in what you have received, and let the rest be enough. Let gratitude rise quietly in you now, my beloved, as the sleep gathers, not forced, not performed, just the natural overflow of a heart that has finally been found. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 107:1. Think of what you have to be thankful for tonight, that you did not have this morning. The loneliness lifted, the door opened, the burden handed over, the name spoken, the welcome given. You went to bed alone so many nights. Tonight you go to sleep accompanied. Let the thanks for that settle over you like a warm blanket, softening everything, easing you down into rest. Gratitude changes the way a person sleeps and changes the way they wake. The heart that lies down giving thanks rises in the morning expecting good. In every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. Philippians 4:6 and 7. With thanksgiving, that is the doorway the peace comes through. So let the thanksgiving be the last work of your heart tonight, and let the peace that passes understanding stand guard over your mind through every hour of the dark. And take that situation, the one still sitting in the back of your mind, the one that was keeping you awake when this message found you, and hand it to me one final time before you sleep. You do not have to solve it tonight. You do not have to carry it through the dark. You handed me the weight when you opened the door. Now leave it handed over. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. I am awake, I am working, I have it. You may sleep, because the one who never sleeps is holding the very thing you could not hold, and he is good, and he is for you, and he will make a way. You have spent so many nights lying awake, trying to think your way through what cannot be thought through, trying to control what was never yours to control. Tonight, you may finally stop. The God you let in tonight is not a passive guest. He is the Lord who parts seas and moves mountains and makes ways in wildernesses. And he is on the inside of your situation now, working while you rest. It is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. Zechariah 4:6. The thing that felt immovable to your strength is not immovable to my spirit. Let it go for the night. Sleep, and trust that I am moving in it even now, in ways your sleeping mind could never accomplish by staying awake to worry. This is the great gift of the open door, my child. You no longer carry your life alone. The aloneness that made every burden unbearable is over. Every weight you now carry, you carry with me. Every situation you now face, you face accompanied. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. You came to me tonight, weary and burdened from years of carrying everything by yourself. And the rest I promised is yours now. Not just the rest of sleep, but the deep rest of a soul that has finally set down the impossible weight of facing life alone. Rest, my beloved, truly rest. You are not alone anymore, and you never will be again. And if any part of you still wonders whether you are really worth all this pursuing, whether a God like me would truly chase someone like you, then consider a man named Saul, who was not ignoring me, but actively fighting me. He hunted my followers, dragged them from their homes, approved of their deaths. He was not a wanderer who had drifted away. He was an enemy marching in the opposite direction with all his strength. And on the road to Damascus, in the middle of his rage, a light from heaven flashed around him, and he heard a voice calling his name. Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Acts 9:4. I called him by name, even him. Even in the middle of his war against me, I called him by name, because I had chosen him, and my call is stronger than a man's rebellion. And that man, the enemy, the persecutor, became the one who carried my name farther than almost anyone who ever lived. I did not call him because he deserved it. I called him because that is what my love does. It reaches into the very center of a person's resistance and calls them by name. Where sin increased, grace increased all the more. Romans 5:20. If I called Saul in the middle of his rage, then there is no resistance in you tonight that puts you beyond my call. Your years of ignoring me were nothing compared to his years of fighting me. And I called him by name. How much more gladly do I call you? So lay down forever the lie that you were too far gone, too resistant, too long in the ignoring to be worth my pursuit. I have pursued enemies and made them sons, I have called persecutors and made them apostles. I have walked into the most hardened hearts and spoken a name so tenderly that the hardness broke. This is a trustworthy saying. Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am the worst. 1 Timothy 1:15. That was Saul, writing later. The worst, he called himself, and yet called, and chosen, and loved. If there was room in my heart for the one who called himself the worst, there is room for you. There has always been room for you. You are in good company tonight, my child, the company of all the ones I called, who never thought they would be called. Abraham, called out of a pagan land to follow a voice he had only just begun to know. Moses, called from a burning bush while hiding in the desert from his past. Gideon, called a mighty warrior while cowering in a winepress. Peter, called back to me after he denied he ever knew me. Saul, called by name in the middle of his rage. Not one of them was an obvious choice. Many are called, Matthew 22:14, called from unlikely places, in unlikely seasons, while running the wrong way, and tonight you join them. The unlikely one, called by name, brought home by a love that would not quit. So rest in the company of the called, my beloved. You are not an exception to my mercy, you are an example of it. You are one more in the long line of wanderers and enemies and hiders and deniers whom I called by name and brought home, not because they were worthy, but because I am love, and love calls, and love pursues, and love does not give up. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. He will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. I am rejoicing over you tonight, my child, singing over you, the way a father sings over a child finally home and finally asleep in his arms. Rest in the song. You are home. You are mine. You are loved beyond all your wandering. And let me ease one last worry that may stir in you even as you drift. The worry that now that you have answered, you must immediately become perfect, must never stumble again, must somehow live up to the love you have received. Hear how gently I deal with the ones I have just brought home. A bruised reed I will not break, and a smoldering wick I will not snuff out. Isaiah 42:3. You are a bruised reed tonight, bent by years of wandering, fragile, not yet strong. I will not break you. You are a smoldering wick. Your flame is small, barely glowing, just relit. I will not snuff you out. I will cup my hands around your small flame and tend it gently until it burns strong. I am patient with new things. I am tender with what is just beginning. You will stumble in the days ahead, my child, and when you do not imagine that the stumbling cancels the homecoming. The righteous fall 7 times and rise again. Proverbs 24:16. The mark of the one who belongs to me is not that they never fall. It is that they rise again, that they turn back, that they come home once more, knowing now that the door is always open. When you stumble, do not hide again. Do not return to the trees. Simply turn as you turned tonight and find me already there, already running, already glad. The homecoming you discovered tonight is not a one-time event. It is a door that stands open for the rest of your life. I am not raising you to be a perfect performer. I am raising you to be a beloved child who grows, slowly, in grace and in trust, over a whole lifetime. Grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. 2 Peter 3:18. Grow, not arrive overnight, but grow, the way a child grows, gradually, with stumbles and setbacks, and steady, patient becoming. I am not in a hurry with you. I have all the time there is, and I will spend it gently, lovingly, forming you into the person I have always seen when I looked at you, the person who was there underneath all the wandering the whole time. So release the pressure to be instantly transformed and simply rest in being instantly loved. The transformation will come, in my time, by my Spirit, as a gift and not a burden. Tonight, all that is asked of you is to rest in the love that found you, not to prove it, not to earn it, not to live up to it, just to receive it. We love because He first loved us. 1 John 4:19. The loving started with me, and it will carry you. You do not have to generate the strength to be good enough now. You only have to let yourself be loved, and the love will do in you, over time, what your striving never could. Rest in that gentleness tonight, my beloved. You are not on probation. You are not being tested to see if you will measure up. You are a child who came home, held by a father who is patient and tender and in no hurry, who will tend your small flame until it burns bright, who will lift you every time you fall, who will walk with you at the pace of grace for all the years of your life. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and rich in love. Psalm 145:8. Slow to anger, rich in love, that is the one who holds you now. Rest in his gentleness. You are safe to grow slowly here. You are safe to be exactly where you are tonight, and loved completely in it. Let the sleep come deeper now, my child. Let your mind, which has worked so hard for so long, finally lay down its labor. You have spent years with a mind that would not rest, turning over problems, rehearsing conversations, bracing against tomorrow, keeping watch because you believed no one else was watching, but someone else is watching now. You can take your mind off guard duty. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you, because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. Let your mind stay on me now, gently, the way a tired child's gaze rests on a parent's face, not working, not analyzing, just resting in the presence of the one who is keeping watch. Let each breath grow slower than the one before. Let the thoughts that rise simply drift past, like clouds you do not have to follow. You do not have to finish any thought tonight. You do not have to solve, or plan, or decide. The day is over, and its troubles are mine to carry now. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Matthew 6:34. Let tomorrow be tomorrow's. Tonight is for rest. Tonight is for the deep, sweet, surrendered sleep of the child who has finally handed everything over and has nothing left to hold. Feel how your body has grown heavy and warm and still. Feel the bed beneath you holding your weight, and beneath that, the everlasting arms holding all of you, body and mind and soul, the whole of you, gathered up and kept. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Proverbs 3:24. Sweet sleep, that is my gift to you tonight, my beloved. Not the thin and anxious sleep of the one who carries everything alone, but the sweet, deep, untroubled sleep of the one who has been found and forgiven and gathered home, and who knows now, in the deepest place, that they are not alone and never will be again. There is nothing left for you to do. The call has been answered. The door has been opened. The burden has been handed over. The shame has been washed away. The name has been spoken. You are home. You who go to sleep tonight are not the same one who almost scrolled past this message. You are a child who heard the voice and turned and was gathered into the arms that have been reaching for you all your life. Now to him who is able to keep you from stumbling and to present you before his glorious presence without fault and with great joy. Jude 1:24. He is able to keep you. He is keeping you now. Rest in the keeping. Sink down now, all the way down, into the deep rest that is waiting for you. Let go of the last thread of holding. Let the breath be slow. Let the body be still. Let the mind be quiet. Let the heart be at peace. And let yourself rest, completely and without reservation, in the love of the one who called you by name across all your wandering years, and finally tonight brought you home. He gives to his beloved even in their sleep. Psalm 127:2. You are his beloved. And even now, as you drift into sleep, he is giving rest, giving peace, giving himself to the child he waited so long to gather home. I want you to remember this night, my child. Long ago, after I helped my people in a moment they could not have survived alone, the prophet Samuel took a stone and set it up as a marker, and he named it Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far the Lord has helped us." 1 Samuel 7:12. He made a marker so that in the years to come, when the memory grew faint, they could look back and remember the night God showed up. I want you to set up a marker in your heart for tonight, a remembered stone, a place you can return to, so that on the hard days ahead, you can look back and say, "That was the night the voice finally reached me. That was the night I stopped running. That was the night I came home." Because there will be days when you forget what happened tonight. The old patterns will pull at you. The noise will rise again. The doubt will whisper that none of this was real. And on those days, you will need a marker, a remembered night, a stone set up in your memory, to which you can return and say, "No, it was real. I heard the voice. I opened the door. I was found." Remember the wonders he has done, his miracles. Psalm 105:5. Remember this one. Remember that on this night, in this quiet hour, the God of the universe called you by name, and you finally answered. and everything began to change. This is the night your story turned, my beloved. Not with thunder, not with spectacle, but quietly, the way the most important turnings always come. A tired heart at the end of a long day, finally growing still enough to hear the voice that had been calling all along, and finally soft enough to say yes. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy. Psalm 126:3. Great things done quietly, in the dark, in a heart that finally stopped running. You will look back on this night for the rest of your life as the night the long wandering ended and the being found began. So let the memory of tonight be planted deep in you as you sleep, deeper than the doubts that will come, deeper than the old patterns, deeper than the noise of the days ahead. Let it become a foundation stone, an Ebenezer, a place of remembered grace. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. Psalm 77:11. One day this night will be your miracle of long ago, the night you return to again and again, the night that anchored everything that came after. Mark it. Remember it. Thus far the Lord has helped you, and the same God who helped you tonight will help you all the days to come. And now, my beloved child, as the sleep gathers fully around you and the night deepens toward its rest, let me speak my blessing over you, the way a father speaks a blessing over a child he loves, the way I taught my people to bless the ones most precious to them. Receive it slowly. Let each word settle over you as you drift down into the deep and gentle sleep of the one who has finally come home. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Numbers 6:24-26. Receive each line. I bless you. I, the one who pursued you all your life, am for you, and I am speaking good over you. I keep you. Nothing of you is unguarded now. I am keeping all of you. My face shines on you. You are not under my frown, but under my smile. I delight in the child who came home. I am gracious to you. I deal with you not by what you deserve, but by my mercy. I turn my face toward you. You are seen, you are known, you have my full attention, and I give you peace, the deep, settled wholeness of the one who is no longer alone. I bless the night that is around you, that it would be a night of deep and healing rest. I bless your sleep, that it would be sweet, for he grants sleep to those he loves. Psalm 127:2. I bless your mind, that the racing would cease, and the peace that transcends understanding would stand guard over it. I bless your heart, that the long ache would be filled, that the old wounds would begin to heal, that the loneliness would be replaced forever by my presence. I bless your body, that it would rest deeply and rise renewed in the morning light. I bless the situation you handed me tonight, and I take it fully into my own hands. I bless the worry you carried in, and I replace it with trust. I bless the fear of tomorrow, and I go before you into every hour of it. For the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:8. I bless the relationships you love, that my hand would be on the people you cannot protect. I bless your home with my peace. I bless your coming and your going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 21:8. I bless the years you spent wandering, and I redeem them. I bless the time you thought was wasted, and I weave it into the story. I bless the very failures you were ashamed of, and I make them the soil of your deepest gratitude. I bless the door you finally opened tonight, and I declare that it will never again be shut between us. I bless the listening you have only just begun, that it would grow into a lifetime of hearing my voice. I bless the new life starting in you tonight, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Romans 15:13. Overflow with hope, my child. Not a thin and fragile hope, but an overflowing one, poured into you by my own Spirit until it spills over the edges of you. This is my blessing over the child who came home tonight, that you would be kept and held and accompanied and loved all the days of your life by the one who called you by name across all your wandering and finally, joyfully, gathered you home. Let me stay with you a while longer as you fall asleep, my beloved, the way a father lingers at the bedside of a child he has missed for a very long time. I am in no hurry to leave. I waited so many years for this night, the night you finally stopped and listened and let me in, that I am not going to rush away the moment it arrives. I will sit with you in the quiet. I will watch over your breathing as it slows. I will be the last presence you are aware of before sleep takes you, and the first when you wake. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand, Psalm 121:5. Right here, at your side, watching, staying. And I want you to hear what tonight was, now that it is nearly complete. The message that found you was titled like a plea. Please do not ignore me tonight. And you did not ignore me. Of all the nights, of all the times my voice has reached you, and you let it pass, tonight you stopped, tonight you stayed, tonight you listened all the way to the end. Do you understand what that means, my child? It means the long pattern is broken. It means the thing I have longed for across all your years has finally happened. You did not ignore me tonight, and because you did not, everything is different now. I called this the last time I call, and now you understand what I meant. Not that I would ever stop loving you, for my love has no end, but that this was the call that finally landed, the one that broke through, the one you actually answered. There did not need to be another desperate pleading call into a closed heart, because tonight the heart opened. The calling that pleads is over, because the calling has been answered. From here, my voice will not be the voice that begs at a locked door. It will be the voice of a father walking beside his child, gentle and near, because the door is open now, and I am inside, and I am staying. I will be their God, and they will be my people. Jeremiah 31:33. So there is nothing left tonight but rest and joy, your rest and my joy. The shepherd who found the lost sheep called his friends together and said, "Rejoice with me. I have found my sheep that was lost." Luke 15:6. That is my heart tonight, my beloved. Rejoice with me. I have found you. The one I searched for across all the years, through all the wandering, past all the closed doors and ignored calls, I have found, tonight, at last. And there is no joy in heaven quite like the joy of the shepherd whose lost one is finally home, and finally safe, and finally asleep in his keeping. Rest now in that joy, not only your own relief at being found, but my joy at finding you. You are not merely tolerated tonight, not merely permitted back. You are celebrated. You are rejoiced over. You are the cause of singing in heaven. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. Let that singing be the lullaby over your sleep tonight, my child, the sound of a God who is glad, deeply and fully glad, that you finally came home. Sleep in the song. You are loved. You are found. You are home. And the one who sang you to sleep tonight will be singing still when you wake. Let everything grow quiet now, my beloved. Let the room grow quiet, and your breathing grow quiet, and your thoughts grow quiet, until there is nothing left but the deep stillness and my presence within it. This is the hour the world calls empty and I call holy, the deep middle of the night, when the striving stops and the soul is most open and I am most near. In returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Quietness and trust. That is all that is left for you now. Be quiet and trust. I have you. I am holding all of it. There is nothing for you to do but rest in my keeping. If any small worry tries to rise as you drift, let it go as quickly as it comes. It has no claim on you tonight. You have handed everything over, and what is handed over does not need to be picked back up in the dark. He will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on him. Isaiah 26:3. Keep your mind stayed on me, not straining, just resting, the way you would rest your eyes on a steady light. I am the steady light at the center of your night. Let your tired mind rest there, and let every worry that rises drift past it and dissolve, until there is nothing left but peace. Feel how completely you are held. Beneath you are the everlasting arms, Deuteronomy 33:27. Around you is the shelter of the Most High. Within you is the Spirit I have given. Above you is the smile of a father who is glad you are home. You are surrounded, my child, on every side, by a love that has finally gathered you in and will never let you go. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Psalm 139:5. My hand is upon you now, gently, the weight of it a comfort and not a burden, holding you in the deep rest of the found and the loved. There is nothing you must do now, nothing you must fix, nothing you must carry, nothing you must become before you are allowed to rest. You may simply be held, be loved, be home, be still. Cease striving, and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Cease the striving that has driven you for so long. It is over now. You do not have to earn your place. You do not have to prove your worth. You do not have to keep watch. You may finally, completely let go and fall, without fear, into the arms that have been waiting your whole life to catch you. Let go now, my beloved, all the way. Let the last holding release. Let the body grow heavy and the breath grow slow and the mind grow dark and quiet. And let yourself sink down into the deep, sweet sleep of the child who is finally truly home. I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. In peace, in safety, in the keeping of the one who called you and found you and forgave you and gathered you home, and who is watching over you now and will watch over you all through the night and will be there, faithful and glad and singing when the morning comes. And as you drift down into the deep, let me whisper over you once more the truths that are yours now, so they go with you into sleep and rise with you in the morning. You are not alone. The aloneness is over, replaced forever by the presence of the one who came in tonight and will never leave. Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. Carry that into your sleep. You are not alone, and you never will be again. You are forgiven. Whatever you carried into this night is gone, carried away as far as the east is from the west. Psalm 103:12. There is no shame left to hold. You may sleep clean, and wake clean, and walk into tomorrow clean. Carry that into your sleep. You are forgiven, completely and forever. You are loved, not for anything you did, but simply because you are mine. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Jeremiah 31:3. A love with no beginning and no end. A love that pursued you across all your years. A love that will hold you through every season still to come. Carry that into your sleep. You are loved beyond all your understanding. You are mine. You answered the call tonight, and the answer made you what you always were. My own child, named, kept, belonging, home. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. Carry that into your sleep, deepest of all. You are mine. You have always been mine. And nothing in all of creation will ever take you out of my hand. These are the truths that are yours now, my beloved. Not earned, not temporary, not dependent on how you feel in the morning. They are simply true. The way the ground is true. The way the sky is true. You are not alone. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are mine. Let them be the bed you sleep in tonight and the ground you wake on tomorrow. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of our God endures forever. Isaiah 40:8. These words endure. They will be just as true in the morning as they are tonight, just as true in a year, just as true at the end of your life. You are not alone. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are mine. Forever. When you wake tomorrow, my child, you will be waking into the first morning of a life that is no longer the same. You may not feel dramatically different. The sun will rise as it always does. The day will hold its ordinary tasks. The situation you handed me may not yet be visibly changed. But something underneath it all will be different, because you will no longer be facing any of it alone. The morning is His, the day is His, and you are His, walking through it now beside the one who made it. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. Even an ordinary day becomes something to rejoice in when you walk through it with me. So do not let the morning steal back what the night has given. The old patterns will try to reassert themselves the moment you wake, the worry rushing in, the loneliness whispering its old lies, the noise rising to doubt the quiet voice. But you know now how to find me. You found me tonight in the stillness, and you can find me again tomorrow in the same way, by turning, by listening, by remembering that the door is open and I am inside. Seek me in the morning, my child, even for a moment before the day pulls you under. Those who seek me find me. Proverbs 8:17. You will find me every morning you look, because I will be there every morning, waiting, glad to begin the day with the child who finally came home. And the morning's mercy will be new, made fresh for the day, exactly enough for whatever it holds. His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. You will not have to face tomorrow on tonight's strength. Tomorrow will have its own grace, given fresh at first light, sufficient for every hour. This is how the rest of your life with me will work. Not one great supply you must ration, but a daily provision, new each morning, faithful as the dawn. You will never wake to a day I have not already filled with mercy enough to carry you through it. So sleep toward that morning without fear, my beloved. The God who held you through the night will greet you in the light. The voice that called you home will speak again in the dawn. The love that found you in the dark will be the first thing waiting when you open your eyes. And the new life that began tonight, quietly, in a tired heart that finally said yes, will keep unfolding, day after day, morning after morning, mercy after mercy, for all the rest of your days. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion, Philippians 1:6. He will carry it on, tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after, all the way home. I want you to know, as you fall asleep, how much this night has meant to me. You have thought of your life as small, your turning as a private thing of little consequence, but you do not understand how I love. I have watched for you the way a parent watches the road for a child who is late coming home, with a longing that does not ease until the child is safe inside. And tonight you came inside. After all the years, all the calls, all the nights I reached for you, and you let the moment pass, tonight you came home. There is no joy I treasure more than this. As a bridegroom rejoices over his bride, so will your God rejoice over you. Isaiah 62:5. You measure my love by human love, and so you underestimate it endlessly. Human love grows tired. Human love keeps score. Human love gives up when it is ignored long enough. But my love is not like that. My love is patient. It keeps no record of wrongs. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. 1 Corinthians 13:7 and 8. Never. Through every year you ignored me, my love never failed. Through every door you closed, my love kept reaching. And tonight, that love which never failed has finally brought you home. Not because it finally became strong enough, but because it was always this strong and only waited for you to stop running from it. Consider how high and wide and deep this love is that has found you. I pray that you may have power to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, Ephesians 3:18 and 19. It surpasses knowledge, my child. It is wider than your failures, longer than your wandering, higher than your shame, deeper than the lowest place you ever fell. You will spend the rest of your life, and all of eternity beyond it, discovering how deep this love goes, and you will never reach the bottom of it, because it has no bottom. It is the love of God, and it is yours, and it found you tonight, and it will never, ever let you go. This is the love that hung the stars and knows them each by name, bending down tonight over one tired soul in one quiet room, glad beyond telling that you finally came home. He determines the number of the stars and calls them each by name, Psalm 147:4. And the one who names every star has known your name forever, and spoke it tonight, and rejoiced when you answered. You are not small to me. You are not one face in a numberless crowd. You are the one I called by name, the one I pursued, the one I found, the one I love. And tonight, holding you as you fall asleep, I am as glad as I have ever been, because the child I waited so long for is finally, safely home. Rest in that gladness, my beloved. Rest in being the joy of God tonight. Rest in being so deeply loved that heaven sings over your sleep. You spent so long believing you were forgettable, overlooked, not worth the trouble of pursuit. Tonight you learned the truth, that you were worth crossing all of time to reach, worth pursuing through all your wandering, worth rejoicing over with singing. The Lord your God is with you. He will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. Fall asleep in the singing, my child. You are the beloved, you are the found one, you are home, and the song over you will not end when you sleep. It will carry you through the night and into the morning and through all the days of the life that began again tonight. Let me speak my peace now over every part of the life you have handed me, so that no corner of it is left outside my care. I speak peace over your past, over the wandering years, the failures, the wasted time. They are forgiven and they are redeemed, and they have no power to accuse you anymore. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Romans 8:1. No condemnation. Let the past rest in peace tonight, fully surrendered, fully covered. I speak peace over your present, over the situation you carried in, the worry that kept you awake, the thing you cannot fix. I have it now, and I am working in it, and you do not have to carry it alone for one more hour. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation present your requests to God. Philippians 4:6. You have presented it, now let it rest in my hands. Let the present moment be at peace, because the one who holds the present loves you. I speak peace over your future, over tomorrow, and next year, and all the unknown days ahead that have made you afraid. I am already there, already gone before you, into every one of them, already preparing the mercy that will meet you when you arrive. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. The future is not a threat, it is held by the one who loves you. Let it rest in peace tonight. I speak peace over your body, that it would rest and be renewed. I speak peace over your mind, that the racing would still. I speak peace over your heart, that the long ache would be filled. I speak peace over your home, your work, your provision, your relationships, over every person you love and cannot protect, over every need you cannot meet, over every fear you cannot quiet. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. Psalm 29:11. My peace over all of it, my peace over all of you. This is the peace the world cannot give and cannot take away, not the absence of trouble, but the presence of the one who has overcome all trouble. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. John 14:27. Let your heart be untroubled now, my child. Let the fear go. Let the peace I am speaking settle over every part of you and every part of your life, like a deep snow that quiets the whole world, until there is nothing left in you but stillness and trust and rest. Sleep now in that peace, my beloved. Peace over your past, your present, your future, your body, your mind, your heart, your home, your whole life. All of it is mine now. All of it is held. All of it is covered by the one who loves you and who came in tonight and who will never ever leave. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. Let it guard you now, through every hour of the night, until the morning comes. Think of who you were just a little while ago, my child, when this message first found you. Tired, distracted, your thumb almost moving past, your heart almost closed, ready to let one more call slip by the way so many had slipped by before. And think of who you are now. You are the one who stopped. You are the one who stayed. You are the one who listened all the way to the end and turned and opened the door and let me in. You are not the same person who almost scrolled past. The old has gone, the new has come. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Something changed tonight that cannot be undone. You crossed a line tonight that you will never have to cross again. I am going to give you a new name, in the deep places where names really live, not the names you have carried, the ones the world gave you, and the ones you gave yourself in your lowest moments. Not failure, not alone, not too far gone, not forgotten. You will be called by a new name that the mouth of the Lord will bestow. Isaiah 62:2. The new name is beloved. The new name is found. The new name is mine. The new name is the one I have always called you in my heart. The one that was true underneath all the false ones the whole time. The one you finally heard tonight when you stopped long enough to listen. And no one can ever take that name from you. The old names came from people who did not know you as I know you, from a world that measured you wrongly, from an enemy who lied to you about who you were. But the new name comes from the one who made you, who knows you completely, who has loved you forever. To the one who is victorious, I will give a white stone with a new name written on it, known only to the one who receives it. Revelation 2:17. It is written now, it is yours, and it is permanent, deeper than every old name, truer than every lie, kept safe in the heart of God, where nothing can ever reach in to erase it. So when the old names try to return, and they will try, in the hard moments, in the tired mornings, in the seasons when you forget, you can answer them with the new one. When the voice says you are alone, you can answer, no, I am his. When the voice says you are too far gone, you can answer, no, I was found. When the voice says you are forgotten, you can answer, no, I am called by name. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. That is the answer to every old name. You are mine. Let it be the name you sleep in tonight, and the name you wake to, and the name you carry for the rest of your life. This is what it means to be made new, my beloved. Not that the old self is improved, but that a new name, a new belonging, a new life is given as a gift to the one who finally came home. And it all began tonight, in the quiet, when you stopped ignoring the voice and let me in. You will look back on this as the night you were given your true name. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. 2 Corinthians 5:17. The new creation has come in you tonight. Sleep now as the new one you have become, carrying the new name into the deep rest of the found and the loved and the finally fully home. Let this be the deepest sleep you have known in a very long time, my child. Not the shallow, guarded sleep of one who is bracing against the morning, but the deep, abandoned sleep of one who has finally laid every weight down and has nothing left to hold. You have carried so much for so long that you may have forgotten what it feels like to truly let go. Let go now. I am holding the watch. He who keeps you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over you will neither slumber nor sleep. Psalm 121:3 and 4. I do not need you to stay even partly awake to make sure everything is all right. Everything is all right. I am awake. Sleep all the way down. Feel the last bit of tension dissolve from your body, from your forehead, your jaw, your shoulders, your hands, all the way down to your feet. Feel the bed holding you, and underneath it the everlasting arms holding all of you. Feel your breath, slow and deep and unforced, each one a quiet gift from the one who first breathed life into you. There is nothing to do, there is nowhere to be, there is no one you must be strong for tonight. You can simply rest, fully and completely, in the keeping of the one who loves you. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4:8. Let your thoughts grow slow and dim now, like a fire settling into embers. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to finish them. Let them drift and fade. The day is over. Its cares are mine. Tomorrow is held. Your whole life is in hands that have never failed and never will. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. You have cast it. Now let it stay cast. Let your hands stay open. Let your mind grow quiet. Let the embers settle into the warm and peaceful dark of sleep. And as the sleep finally takes you, let the very last awareness in your mind be this: you are not alone. The one who called you all your life is right here, closer than your breath, watching over you with a love beyond all telling. Glad past words that you finally came home. You will not be alone tonight, or tomorrow, or any night for the rest of your life. I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Matthew 28:20. Always, to the very end. Sleep in that always, my beloved. Sleep in the presence that will never leave. Sleep in the love that found you and will keep you forever. Rest now, rest completely. Rest in the arms of the one who pursued you across all your years and finally, tonight, gathered you home. The voice that has called you all your life has been answered, and is now the voice that keeps watch over your sleep, and will be the voice that greets you in the morning, and will walk beside you all the days of your life, and will never ever stop loving you. Be still, my child. You are home. You are safe. You are loved. Sleep. You were the lost sheep, my beloved, and now you are the found one, and I am your shepherd, and you shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. Psalm 23:1. Let that be the song over the rest of your night. You lack nothing now, because you have me, and in having me you have everything your soul was ever hungry for. The wandering is over. The shepherd has found his sheep, and lifted you onto his shoulders, and carried you home, and there is nothing left for you to do but rest in the keeping of the one who will never lose you again. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. Psalm 23:2 and 3. He makes me lie down. Even your rest is shepherded. Even your sleep is led by the one who knows you need it. Let yourself be led tonight to the green pasture, to the quiet water, to the place of deep refreshing. You do not have to find your own rest. The shepherd leads you into it. Lie down where he is leading you now, in the soft grass beside the still water, and let your weary soul be refreshed. Even though you walk through the darkest valley, you will fear no evil, for I am with you. My rod and my staff, they comfort you. Psalm 23:4. Whatever valleys still lie ahead of you, my child, you will not walk them alone anymore. The shepherd walks every valley with his sheep. The dark places that terrified you when you faced them alone will be different now, because I will be there, my presence your comfort, my staff your guide, my nearness the thing that drives out the fear. You will fear no evil, not because there is no valley, but because you are no longer alone in it. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 23:6. Goodness and love will follow you now, all your days, not chase you down to harm you, but follow you to bless you. My goodness and mercy pursuing you the way I pursued you tonight, all the way home, all the way to the end, all the way into the house where you will dwell with me forever. The pursuing that brought you home tonight does not stop now. It becomes the goodness and love that will follow you every day for the rest of your life. So sleep, little one, in the keeping of your shepherd. You strayed, and you were sought, and you were found, and you were carried home, and now you are safe in the fold, and the shepherd is at the gate, and nothing will harm you through the night. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. John 10:11. I laid down everything to find you. I would do it again. That is how loved you are. Sleep now in the safety of the fold, under the watch of the shepherd who gave everything for you, and who is glad beyond words that you are finally, safely home. I want you to rest tonight in the wonder of how undeserved all of this is, not as a burden, but as the deepest relief. You did nothing to earn tonight. You did not become good enough. You did not finally get your life together. You did not pay back the years of ignoring me. You simply, at the end of a long and ordinary day, stopped and listened and let me in, and everything was given to you as a gift. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. Ephesians 2:8-9. A gift, not wages, not a reward, a gift, freely given, to one who could never have earned it. And there is such freedom in that, my child. If tonight depended on your worthiness, you would lie awake wondering whether you had been worthy enough. But it does not depend on you. It depends on me, on my love, on my grace, on my faithfulness, and those never fail. He saved us, not because of righteous things we had done, but because of his mercy. Titus 3:5. Because of his mercy. That is the only reason, and it is the most secure reason there could ever be, because my mercy does not run out, and my love does not change. You can rest completely tonight, because what holds you is not your performance but my grace. This is why you can stop striving forever, my beloved. You spent your whole life believing you had to earn your way, earn love, earn worth, earn a place, earn rest. And tonight you discovered that the deepest things cannot be earned at all, only received. By the grace of God I am what I am. 4 Corinthians 15:10. You are what you are tonight, found, forgiven, loved, mine, purely by grace, purely as a gift. There is nothing left to strive for. There is only this, to receive what has already been freely given, and to rest in it, and to let yourself be loved. So let go of the lifelong exhaustion of trying to be enough. You do not have to be enough. I am enough, and I have given myself to you, and that settles everything. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient, sufficient for your weakness, sufficient for your past, sufficient for your future, sufficient for every place you fall short. You may finally stop trying to be sufficient on your own, and rest in the sufficiency of the one who loves you. That is the rest your soul has been hunting for all your life, and tonight, at last, you have found it. Rest then in pure grace. Rest in a love you did not earn and cannot lose. Rest in a gift that was given freely and can never be taken back. Rest in the arms of the one who saved you, not because you were good, but because he is good. Not because you deserved it, but because he loved you. Not because of anything in you, but because of everything in him. The gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus our Lord. Romans 6:23. It is a gift, it is yours, and nothing you do, and nothing you fail to do, can ever change that it was freely, lovingly, eternally given to you. Sleep in the gift, my child. Sleep in the grace. Sleep in the love that asked nothing of you, but that you stop running and come home. Let me hold the whole of tonight before you one last time, gently, the way you would turn a treasured thing over in your hands before setting it down to sleep. You began this night almost scrolling past, almost letting one more call slip by, and then you stopped. You heard, underneath the noise, the voice that had been calling you all your life. You remembered all the times you ignored it, and you felt how patiently it had kept calling anyway. You came out from the trees where you had been hiding in shame, and found not a judge but a father, running toward you. You let me in through the door you had kept closed for so long. You handed me the burden you had carried alone. You received a love you did not earn, a forgiveness that washed you clean, a name that is yours forever. And now you are here, at the end of the night, found and held and home. This is the night everything changed, my beloved, and it changed so quietly that the world did not even notice, but heaven noticed and rejoiced. There is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Luke 15:10. All of heaven rejoiced tonight over you. The angels who have watched you wander for so long, watched you turn at last, and there was joy in places you cannot see, over a child you thought no one was even watching. You were never as unseen as you believed. You were watched over, longed for, and tonight rejoiced over. That is who you have always been to me, and nothing about tonight will be undone by the morning. Sometimes you have had spiritual moments that faded by daylight, good intentions that dissolved by noon, but this is not that. This is not a passing feeling. This is a homecoming, and a homecoming holds. The gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Romans 11:29. Irrevocable, not taken back, not reversed, not undone. What you receive tonight is permanent. You will wake tomorrow still found, still forgiven, still loved, still mine. The morning cannot undo what the night has done, because it was not your feeling that did it. It was my grace, and my grace does not fade with the dawn. So you may sleep without the fear that you will lose this by morning. You will not lose it. It is written now in heaven, sealed by my own faithfulness, kept by my own hand. Having believed, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit. Ephesians 1:13. You are sealed, my child, marked as mine, kept as mine, secured as mine, by my own Spirit, who has come to dwell in you and will never depart. Sleep in that security. What happened tonight is done, and it is good, and it is forever, and not even the morning can take it from you. Let your heart be completely at peace now, my beloved. There is nothing left undone. There is nothing left to fear. There is nothing left to earn or prove or hold. The long search is over, both your search for something your soul could never name, and my search for the child I would not stop pursuing. We have found each other tonight. You are home, and there is nothing left for either of us to do but rest in the joy of it. Your weary, grateful rest, and my glad, watchful keeping, through this whole night, and into the morning, and through all the days and years to come. Breathe with me one last time now, slow and deep, as the sleep comes to take you fully. Breathe in, and receive the peace of being found. Breathe out, and release the very last of the long weariness of the years you spent alone. Breathe in, and receive my presence, here, close, never leaving. Breathe out, and let go of everything, all the way, into my keeping. There is nothing left to hold. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 21:7 and 8. I am watching over your life. You may close your eyes in complete safety. I have you. Let the breath grow slower still. Let the body grow heavier. Let the mind grow dim and quiet, like a room where the lamp is gently turned down low. You spent your life as a smoldering wick, a flame nearly gone out. And I did not snuff you out. I cupped my hands around you and kept you burning, even when you did not know I was there. A smoldering wick he will not snuff out. Isaiah 42:3. Your small flame is safe in my hands tonight. I am keeping it. I will tend it gently through the night, and it will be burning still, a little brighter when you wake. You are drifting now, my beloved, down into the deep and gentle dark of sleep, and I am going with you. I will not leave you when you cross over into sleep. I will be there in the deep, holding you when you are aware of nothing at all, keeping watch over the child who finally came home. When you awake, I am still with you. Psalm 139:18. When you wake, I will still be here. Through the whole night, I will not move from your side. There has never been a safer place for you to rest than exactly where you are right now, held in the keeping of the God who loves you. So let go, all the way, into the sleep. Let the last thread of waking release. Let yourself fall, without any fear, into the deep rest that is waiting, into the arms that are holding you, into the love that found you tonight and will never let you go. He grants sleep to those he loves. Psalm 127:2. You are loved. So now, Sleep. Sweet, deep, peaceful sleep. The sleep of the found and the forgiven and the finally fully home. Sleep, my beloved child. The voice that called you has you now. Rest. Good night, my child. You did not ignore me tonight. Of all the nights, you stopped and you stayed and you let me in. And that has changed everything, forever. The long wandering is over. The voice has been answered. The door is open and I am inside and I am not going anywhere. You are no longer alone and you never will be again. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Numbers 6:24-26. Peace over your sleep. Peace over your morning. Peace over your whole life, from this night forward, all the way home. Rest now, beloved child. You are found. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are mine. And I will be right here, watching over you, glad and faithful and near, all through the night, until the morning light. Good night.